What up, bro? Welcome to another episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow. Oh, yeah. It's been one hell of a week, and I'm closing it out. Well, I got one more episode to do tomorrow, so it's pretty much a prelude to what tomorrow's going to be, which is Restaurant Life, and I will be doing my rate and review show tomorrow on SummerSlam. I can't wait for that. But so tonight I'm doing Wrestling Life, but I'm doing my top 10 SummerSlam moments. Okay, these are the moments that I feel like really define the biggest party of the summer, as WWE would say. Um, so yeah, man, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. So y'all know how I do my list. Um, I hope you guys enjoy this. I go from 10 to 1. And like I said, this is all about SummerSlam, the moments that kind of have defined it. And let's get into it, man. So, starting off at number 10, to me, one of the biggest SummerSlam moments is, of course, Bret Hart versus Davey Boy Smith in the UK SummerSlam. Where was it? 1990. Oh shit, two, three, and yeah. For the Intercontinental Championship. This actually was the headliner. This main event at that SummerSlam. It is held and regarded as one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches. Of course, Bret Hart and the British Bull, Davey Boy Smith, British Bulldog, who were family. British Bulldog married Bret Hart's sister. Um, so it wasn't just a family versus family. It was the main event of SummerSlam, and it was the Intercontinental Championship. And for what the Intercontinental Championship has become over the last so many years, for this to be a main event at a pay per view at one point, yeah, you see why so many people hold the Intercontinental Championship at high regard because of matches like this. This was a classic. Like I said, it's probably held as one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches of all time. Um, in the UK, it just was a moment, and then to see their family in the front row of this match was iconic. So yeah, that kicks off the list at number 10. At number 9, at the 2000, let's say 14, yeah, 2014, definitely 2014. No, yeah, 2013, 2013, yeah, 2013. At the 2013 SummerSlam, a moment that some people now look back at hindsight is probably one of the most I don't know moments, depending on what spectrum you fall on. But at number 9, it is the authority begins and the yes movement is officially started. Two cause and effect moments, one ending, which was John Cena losing the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan, which would um, kick immediately into the storyline of Randy Orton cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship, only because of the special guest referee at the time, Triple H, using his authority as the COO of the company to screw Daniel Bryan of the WWE Championship. Now, of course, the authority begins right then and there, and Randy Orton becomes the WWE Champion. And a couple months later, he becomes the WWE World Heavyweight Champion after John Cena comes back and beats Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title. Then he takes it and goes against Randy Orton at TLC. Randy Orton becomes the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And of course, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton and Batista would fight at WrestleMania 30. But this is the moment that it began the authority and also started the Yes movement. 2013, the end of the SummerSlam. A lot of people would probably say this was, the moment that everybody really started to just really fuck with Daniel Bryan. Um, I did. I was a fan of Daniel Bryan before, but it was like, how could you do that to that man? That was kind of stupid. Then on top of that, how WWE kind of fucked up this whole situation because they kept trying to act like, oh, we could just move in another direction and nothing would change. And fans were like, yeah, we're not gonna let you do that, and they don't give a fuck how you wanted to move. So yeah, the authority begins and a yes movement starts. Number eight. At number eight, the 2015, yeah, 2015 SummerSlam. History was made by the architect, the one and only Seth frickin' Rollins. This was champion versus champion, SummerSlam 2015. Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Winner takes all. WWE champion, WWE World Heavyweight Champion versus the United States champion. Now, like I said, at 2013, the end of 2013 is when they merged the belt, and at 2014, 2015, WrestleMania 31, Seth took the belt, and for the most part, the title reign of Seth was kind of, whatever. But at 2015 SummerSlam, him and John Cena had a classic. That fucking match was fantastic. It was amazing. That was really the match that made me be a real fan of Seth Rollins because the way he was just wrestling John Cena, it was incredible. So he made history. Now I will always say, as much as I love this man, as much as I love this man, I did not feel like you needed Jon Stewart to determine the fucking winner. I feel like Seth should have just won that just by himself. Like he should have just won it, clean. But Jon Stewart comes out and then he goes to the next Monday Night Raw and he tells him, oh, Ric Flair, man, I couldn't have John Cena tie your 16 World Heavyweight Championships. And John comes out and pretty much FU's attitude adjusts Jon Stewart, but Seth made history. And also, the next night on Monday Night Raw is when Sting came back. But this match, this night, was all about Seth Rollins. He deserved it. Like I said, I've said numerous times, Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So, of course, Seth's going to be on this list. Duh. Coming in at number 7 is the a stipulation that has come to define the attitude, ruthless aggression era and clearly died somewhere in the middle. Like somewhere it died. But this particular stipulation, excuse me, was birthed at WrestleMania, but they really did the first one ever at SummerSlam 2000, and that is TLC 1. Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, in the first ever TLC match for the Tag Team Championships. Like I said, they kind of did it at WrestleMania 16, but they really never really put because there was so many things. It was a triangle ladder match, and Mick Foley said, "Okay, screw this. We're gonna have a a TLC match. Tables, ladders, and chairs. The Hardys love the ladders. The Dudleys clearly love the tables, and Edge and Christian could chateau the shit out of people. it just made perfect sense. And at SummerSlam 2000, it became an actual staple in WWE. Now, this was now, of course, the most famous is the WrestleMania 17 one, but this was the first one, and that is why it's on my list. Because if it wasn't for this moment, that match, that moment being perceived as it was perceived, it probably would have never happened at WrestleMania 17 the way it happened at WrestleMania 17. Like I said, WrestleMania 17 TLC 2 probably was the most iconic one. But if it wasn't for TLC 1, who knows what TLC, the stipulation, tables, ladders, and chairs would have been. We have seen it in now in various situations. Of course, the most famous, they've even used it for now just a regular old singles match. The best singles TLC match of all time is Edge and John Cena at Unforgiven 2007. That is the greatest one-on-one TLC match. But let's be real, the greatest TLC match is WrestleMania 17. But this is the first time, by the way, like I said, this was literally the first time TLC, the name, was uttered as a match. That is why I say it is a moment, because it literally defined an era of what stipulation matches would be like in WWE. And that is why it's on my list. Coming in at number 6, moments that you cannot discredit. At SummerSlam 2002 and at SummerSlam 2004, history was made. Now, Seth Rollins made history by becoming the WWE Champion and the United States Champion at the same time. Well, at SummerSlam 2002 and SummerSlam 2004, history was made by two young athletes winning the World Championships at the particular age they were at. 2002, Brock Lesnar at 25 years old beat the Great One, The Rock, took the WWE Undisputed Championship away from The Rock and became the face of the company in 2002. He only had been on a job, what, for like a couple months? A couple months? I mean, he debuted after WrestleMania 17, I think. Oh no, WrestleMania 18. He debuted at the WrestleMania 18, and he won King of the Ring. He won King of the Ring. Ended up fighting The Rock at SummerSlam, and then beating him for the Undisputed Championship. So he made history. He was the youngest WWE champion of all time, and at the time, the youngest champion, World Heavyweight Champion of all time. That was up until 2004 SummerSlam, and that is when Randy Orton etched his name as the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in WWE history, winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Chris Benoit in Toronto. I think it was in Montreal. He beat him in Montreal, which is the craziest shit. But he beat him in Montreal, Canada, and he became the youngest World Heavyweight Champion of all time. 24 years old. SummerSlam is where you become one of the youngest champions of all time, and that is literally what the moniker has become about a SummerSlam. And the youngest champions are always crowned at at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar did in 2002, becoming when he was 25 years old, winning, beating The Rock. Randy Orton did it in 2004, beating Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. It just happens that way. All right, so before I get into the top 5, we gotta recap it. So coming in at number 10, Bret Hart versus Davey Boy Smith. Family versus family for the Intercontinental Championship, SummerSlam, in the UK. Maybe WrestleMania will be going to the UK next. Maybe not next year, but definitely the year after next. Maybe we'll see a SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, or a SummerSlam return back to the UK. We never know. Number 9, the Authority is born. The Authority begins, and the Yes Movement starts. Triple H, Randy Orton, the Authority, becomes one of the hottest storylines with the Yes Movement. Daniel Bryan, the Authority versus Daniel Bryan. It started at WrestleMania 2014. It was a moment. At 2015's SummerSlam, no 2016. I fucked that up because 2015 Brock beat John Cena. So 2016 SummerSlam, I think it was. Yeah, I know, I fucked it up somewhere. But 2016 SummerSlam, Seth makes history by becoming the first ever WWE and United States champion ever. Um, at 2000 SummerSlam, the first ever TLC match was held between Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys for the tag team championships. And the number 6 history young champions are crowned. 25-year-old Brock Lesnar at 2002 SummerSlam beating The Rock. 2004 SummerSlam, Randy Orton becoming the youngest World Heavyweight Champion of all time at 24 years old, beating Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. Let's do it. Coming in number 5. I had this lower, but then I thought about the moment, and I was like, this is kind of the funniest thing on SummerSlam history. Probably the funniest thing in SummerSlam history. And as Brock Lesnar flipping the fucking ring with Roman Reigns inside the ring with a tractor. That match into itself was the craziest shit. That's their best match they've ever had. I would say with anybody say that's their best match they've ever had. But that moment is one of the funniest fucking moments. One of the funniest fucking moments of all time. It was at SummerSlam 2022. It's still one of the funniest moments of all time. Roman literally on one side of the right, then he gets flipped and he just starts tumbling out the he just fucking started tumbling out the ring. That shit is fucking hilarious, man. Yeah, man. That moment is going to live in infamy when it comes to SummerSlams. Um, coming in at number 4 is The Fiend Comes to Life. 2019, Bray Wyatt creates this amazing, incredible, groundbreaking character, The Fiend. And at 2019 SummerSlam in Toronto, Canada, it is born. It comes to life. And he fights Finn Balor. And Finn didn't stand a chance. Didn't stand a chance, man. But The Fiend, I watch that match damn near every other week just because it's the aura of The Fiend. It's a moment. You're just sitting there like, what the fuck is this? It's that. So to see The Fiend come to life actually was dope, man. Coming in number 3. Speaking of The Fiend, he's a part of the number 3 moment. Because at number 3, the year later, pandemic time in 2020, the tribal chief is born. Roman Reigns comes back to WWE. Like I said, it was the pandemic. He took time off because of his own health problems with his leukemia. Uh, and he took the time off. He was supposed to fight Goldberg at WrestleMania 36, and 36, and didn't fight him. He was gone for months during this pandemic, and then SummerSlam comes, and Roman Reigns returns. But doesn't just return; he returns, and it's different, and you can feel it, and you're like, no, this ain't the Roman that ain't big dog Roman. That's a little different. That's a different Roman. And who was to know that literally that night would become one of the greatest stories of the last 4 fucking years of WWE. Now, of course, I've had my own feelings on the Bloodline storyline, but if it wasn't for this night, and then the next pay per view, which was literally the next week, they put the title on him, and then it was just smooth fucking silence after that. The Bloodline storyline took off. But this was the night where he returned. Now, will he be back tomorrow night? We shall see. We shall see. But the tribal chief is born because Roman Reigns returned. Now, a lot of people probably be like, that should be number one. What the fuck? How is it three? Coming in number two as one of the best moments in SummerSlam's history to me. HBK Shawn Michaels returns to the ring for the first time in 4 years. Shawn Michaels and Triple H probably have one of the greatest rivalries, and I will be doing a top 10 rivalries list eventually. I might close it out with that. That might be one of the last lists I do this year. My favorite rivalries in WWE in wrestling history. So that might be maybe just my favorite rivalries in sports history. But no, I'll probably do WWE wrestling history because that'd take fucking forever. But Shawn Michaels coming back in 2000 SummerSlam. Like I said, Brock won the WWE Undisputed Championship uh, against The Rock in the main event of 2022. But it was also built to have this iconic figure, Shawn Michaels, come back to the ring for the first time in 4 years, and they finally did it. And he fights his best friend Triple H, who became one of his most bitter rivals, definitely on his second run. And it's one of the greatest matches that I've ever seen. It's so good, man. You couldn't even tell Shawn had been out 4 fucking years. That's how crazy that is. What a back injury, by the way. This is the best match he had at that time. It was iconic, man. It's one of the greats. His early 2000s run. This is the reason for it. It's one of them, man. So yeah, man. Shawn, and he's killing it as NXT Booker. Absolutely killing it, man. But at number one, the greatest SummerSlam moment to me is SummerSlam 2021. Brock Lesnar returns. Brock pops up at the end of the Roman Reigns John Cena Universal Championship match. We all know Paul Heyman is Brock's advocate. We know this already. We know that Paul and Brock are, you know, tied to the hip. So now for a year and a half, pretty much, Paul Heyman has been tied to Roman Reigns, and he's now the you know the special counsel for the tribal chief. Well, now Brock is back, and technically this is really the first. This is the big pay per view. Fans are officially back in WWE, and this is in Vegas of all places. And they come and Brock, that fucking music hits, and Paul's in the ring, and Roman is doing and then that music fucking hits, and it's just like boom, you just feel it like, God damn, this is different. It was a moment. It's still to this day is one of the greatest pops you probably have heard in years. Brock coming back at SummerSlam 2021 is one of the greatest SummerSlam moments of all time. So, at number one, Brock Lesnar returns at 2021 SummerSlam. Shawn Michaels fights his first match in 4 years at SummerSlam 2002 is number two. Number three is the birth of the Tribal Chief in 2020. Uh, Number four, The Fiend comes to life in 2019 SummerSlam. And number five, Brock flips Roman in the wrestling world on his ear with a tractor at SummerSlam 2022. Um, The youngest champions are crowned at SummerSlam. Brock 2002 at 25, Randy Orton in 2004 at 24. 2004 at 24. Number 7, the first ever TLC match is held at SummerSlam 2000. Number 8, Seth Rollins makes history becoming the first ever man to hold the WWE Championship and the United States Championship at the same time. Number 9, the Authority and the Yes Movement both begin. And at number 10, Brett versus Davey, Family versus Family Intercontinental Championship on the line. SummerSlam UK. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be back doing my SummerSlam rate and review show. I cannot wait. Until next time, I am Brandon Janeau. Hope you guys enjoy this. Peace.